And we are live. Alrighty. Hey, everybody. I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David? Alrighty. A bit of a late start today. I used to have an alarm when I was back at my old place, and I haven't even set any alarms these days, and I just woke up naturally, and so I'm a bit late. My apologies, chaps and ladies and others, however you choose to list yourself on those things on forms. Now, today, we're working on both the P-51B and the 109A because we have some pretty similar objectives with them, we do. Yes. So, this we will now do. Oh, hey, Bassman, how you doing? Now, really, now that I've explained what we're doing, best thing to do is get on with it, isn't it? Now, moving into position. I've still got the paints out from the Stang yesterday. That's okay. That doesn't matter. I've put the parts away. Yes. Now, hello. Oh, hey, Brian. How are you doing? Oh, that is the ticket. Every time I think of Brian, I just thought it's frozen. Oh, it shouldn't be. Rubbin. Anyway, every time I think of Montreal, I think of Emerson, Lake and Palmer playing Fanfare for the Common Man in Montreal Stadium. Now, correct me if I am wrong, but weren't the Winter Olympics held in Montreal? Oh, hey, kitty guy, how you doing? Yeah, I'm hoping it's well, I'm not hoping it's at your end, Brian, but I'm sure you get the idea. It would be a bit preferable for me at least. But yeah, hopefully it's all good. Yeah, anyway, every time I think of Montreal, I think of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Ba, 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 ba. You get the drill. Now, let's get our bits and bobs. First up, here's our Stang, or Mustang aircraft. That's not quite the Stang. But now, what we're trying to get achieved here is this needs to slide into here. But what I've discovered is that it's a bit too wide in the fuselage here. And there is much filing to be done. So that's one objective we have to achieve. Now, let's have a look at what we're actually doing on. And I also need to do a touch-up here. So the part came out, in fact, two parts came out. One of which is irretrievable. Excuse me, I'm getting lots of. I'm just going to check something for a moment. Is this anything important that I need to know about? No. No, it is not. Alrighty. Summer games. Yeah. Yeah. In any event, I'm sure you get the drill, and you may even be familiar with the piece of music in question. Certainly over here in Australia, that piece of music got flogged on a whole stack of sports shows. Gotta say, for a three-piece, one of which was keyboards, Emerson, Lake and Palmer rocked pretty hard. Anyway, I'm good, thank you, cutie guy. Now, 109. They've all travelled quite well. That much I'm happy about. Now, on this, well, actually, this is a bit different again. It's not what I had anticipated. They reckon we need to get the engine going on. And you know what? I think I might. And then there's some photo etch to go in to the cockpit. I see. Wow. I wonder why they didn't get us. I'll zoom you in on this one, guys. Quick change of plans. very minor change of plans. We're actually going to do this bit of assembly right now, right here, right now. And we'll stop. Now, give you a moment. A bit further, perhaps even. There we go. Now, hang on. Wrong way. There we go. Now, as you can, I'm going to need to, for fuck's sake. There we go. I might actually zoom out just a little. Now, as you can see, that's a view of the cockpit from behind. And we have photo etch to be put in at that angle. Now, the question I would, bloody aircon's just come on. I would ask is, I'm imposing myself here, is I wonder what the advantage is in trying to put it in from this angle. I'll also have to have a look at those. Well, once we've put this engine together, okay, no, here we go. I've got a series of, here's what we're going to start off with. I'm going to zoom you out. We're going to start off with some filing and seeing about getting the fuselage to fit the wings. There will come a point where either A, that will happen, or B, I'll get the shits on. Once I've hit the shits on, we start assembling the 109 because that'll give me a good diversion. And then I'll do some more filing. Then it either fits or we all know what happens, don't we, boys and girls? I get the shits on. In which case we'll start making some assessments about this photo etch. There's a plan for the stream. I have it all under control, I do. Right. So, we'll pop this over there. Kind of like that engine, you know. Looking forward. And something else we can do, once the engine is assembled, because what I want to do, I'll actually show you this too as well while I think. Now, there is, amongst all of this, yeah, here we go. You can, the way they've set the cowlings, I can actually have it open to show the engine, and that's what I want to do. Now, in doing that, what I want to do, or in fact we'll need to do, is add a couple of guns. So I'll have to maybe do a bit of a look-see about that as well. There's something else to consider, but we need the engine assembled first. Now. Very happy that I've got a plan of attack now. That should probably go. It doesn't really matter. I know what that is. Files. Mouthful of coffee in preparation. Oh, yeah. Now. This is a good file set, but I think I'm going to do a bit of Google foo on file maintenance, or whether it just comes down to I should just get a new kit. They're looking a little haggard. They're good files. Those who've watched my streams regularly will be aware that I inherited some good stuff from my mother, and this is some of it. Now, good modeling stuff, that is. Now, here's a question first. No, there's no real capacity to get that any closer. Okay. So, oh God, that's a lot we're going to have to take off. I'll show you right now. Bearing in mind it is a bit thinner at the front, but scope this out, guys. Look where the edge of the fuselage is, even when I'm right. And bearing in mind that, yes, it does go wider at the front, but can you... There you go. I think it's a bit blurry. Hang on. Yeah, there you go. You can see there's going to be quite a bit that's going to need to be taken off. Plus, I'm going to want to trim it down here. This is going to take a bit of work, boys and girls. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, with that, there's a few angles we can go, as well as thinning out through here won't do us any disservice at all. And the bulk of the file, in fact, almost pretty much all the filing, it doesn't have to, but it's going to be more easily done, I would suggest. Is there anything here I can knock off from clumsy? We can maybe do some on the wings. Yeah, why not? Either way, ultimately, this has got to go into there to create that. Now, the part I don't want to hit is this more than anything else, because that's the actual exposed vent, and that will be visible. So I want that to be nice and sweet, and petite. All right, let's get down to business. So, if you guys would like to, how are your guys' builds coming along? Do feel free to let me know this sort of stuff. Now we're going to start by coming. Now, how wide is that? Too wide. It'll damage the vent. And indeed, if you have a camera set up, I can always put up the thing so you can even show what you're working on if you feel so inclined. I have the technology. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh, I'll stop there. Not quite fitting as a rhythm anyway. Now, I'm going to want to come into there, I reckon. And having done that, I will equally need to go here. Now, as we get more of a flat file for this one. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit on here. Oh, it's a bit more. Yeah. I can always tidy the party up a bit if I need to. Let's see how we go. I don't like this approach. I really don't. I know almost every. But we are making good progress on the width. That's good. All right. It's a bit cunty though, I tell you. Here's another angle I can go into there. Oh, that's an awful sound. I think I'm starting to reach the point where it's 1:09 time. Nah, I can be a bit more patient than that. Now. Oh, nice. Wow. Now I'm about to ask. I have heard of the Hornet, and I'm assuming by the B-25 that was used in the Doolittle raid. Be aware that whilst I know a lot about the European theatre, I know a bit about the North African theatre. I don't know that much about the Pacific theatre. No bits and bobs. But yeah, I'm assuming that is the case. If so, that is extra cool. Because yeah, that's certainly a mate, not just a historical aircraft carrier, but a historical raid. Boom, winning. I like doing stuff that I have enjoyed doing things that pertain to particular historical events. I've got my D-Day C-47. I've got my Dam Busters Lank. My fighter aircraft are generally all name aces sort of thing, generally. Obviously the 109A isn't. Hey, oh. Now, I'm starting to think that A, yes, definitely 109 time. But B, I reckon I might be closer to this than I think. Oh, hey, Ronald, I'm good, thanks. How you doing? Ah, now you see, that's feeling better. Yeah, getting there. You can even see it's getting there now. It's a patience game, but we'll get there. All right, we're going to pop that aside for a moment. Okay, fair enough. Well, there's no shame in being English. Wait, the line I'm actually looking for is from Monty Python with regards to this, and I'll explain the context, so as you can understand where the reference comes from. They do this sketch where it's basically it's a thing about are you embarrassed easily? I am, but don't worry, it's all part of growing up and being British. And it's this program they introduce you to from the Institute of Going a Bit Red in Helsinki. It's a way of addressing embarrassment. But yes, but don't worry, it's all part of growing up and being British. And as a phrase, that little bit on its own, applied at the right time, judiciously, you can have a lot of fun with that. And I can say that quite happily too, because my family's from the UK. I'm Australian, as you may have gathered from I believe I carry a fairly healthy accent. But my family's actually from the UK. I'm the only member of my family born in Australia. Now, I'd have to be perfectly honest, I'm not quite sure where my siblings grew up. I know that my mum grew up in Battersea in London. She used to love watching the TV program Minder, for those who are with Dennis Waterman, for those who are familiar, because she'd be able to look at the. Have you been to Australia, Ronald? No, I've never done an electronic kit, mate. Look, Australia's a good place, man. Look, the way I figure it, in fact, first up, if you live in a developed nation, by and large, you're doing pretty well off straight away. Living in Australia, I'm in the top 10 wealthiest percentage of the population globally. You can't tell me that's a bad outcome. Australia has a welfare system. This is a good thing. The weather's generally pretty swish. Now let's have a look here. Let's get our part, shall we? It's not a war zone. It's not a dictatorship. It's a pretty free and easy country, man. Boom. You have the flag. Yeah, look, as you're from the UK, you're going to get it. If you were to just come for a holiday, the exchange rate you'd get is pretty solid. Particularly at the moment, because I believe the dollar's taken a wee bit of a shellacking. I'm not quite sure what the cause of that is, whether it's the orange buffoon, I am unsure. He's done all sorts of things to all sorts of economies. But yeah, leave that discussion there. Now, first and most obvious option is to put the lid on, or not if the lid is the correct term, but the top on our engine. And then we can go, let's do that first. Now, I believe we do all right on the, you know how you get that world rankings, places to live in sort of thing. I believe we do all right on that. As an opinion, things that would make our country better, because you can always improve. I'm a big fan of the social democracy setup that they run in places like Scandinavian nations generally do it, I think. I believe Germany, basically where they tax the bejesus out of anything that moves. But in doing that, supply their population with everything they pretty much require as essentials, which is to say your public transport, your education, your health, boom, 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 boom. And da-da-da. Now, in Australia, we don't have that. We have a thing where it's actually, the more money you make, the easier it is to avoid paying tax if you've got a good accountant, which is ridiculous. But it's pretty much what happens. But yeah, and as such, there's a long waiting list for. In fact, I can even bitch about this quite happily. I had to wait over 2 years for a hip replacement. Now, I can tell you free of charge, towards the end of that time, it was, yeah, no joking matter. It was a real problem. And unable to work, da-da-da-da-da. Now, if I'd been in, say, I don't know, Sweden, I'd been diagnosed with hip. They said, oh, right. They would have just said, right, we're going to send you off to here. Boom, get that fixed. It would have happened quickly. Not over here. Over here, public education is underfunded. This is a fact. And as such, the excuse me while I get this slit off. It's been a bit tricksy. Come on, you know you want to. There we go. And as such, private education, which actually still receives tax money for various reasons, whatever, has a lot more money. It receives more money than the public school system. Hey, is this going to come give me any glue, or am I going to have to get the lighter on it? Yeah, it's looking like it's lighter time. Lighter time. Yeah, that's fine, Ronald. Thanks for swinging past. Oh, what is this? Now getting rumbled by the... Hang on. There we go. Come on. Because I've got the... there we go. This should hopefully get shit happening. Fuck's sake. Yeah. Basically, there's inequity in education and stuff like that. So ultimately, I'm of the opinion that if Australia were to adopt the model used by, excuse me a moment, I'm just going to, the Scandinavian countries, we would be better off. I'm Ken Brockman. Now, lid there. Now, there's them who would disagree. And at the end of the day, they are wrong. I see you, Ronald. Well, it's a pleasant little visit. Excuse me. Oh. Geez, that you got us a cough, was it? I reckon I might just redo that glue. I can't believe that I coughed and blew the bloody thing off. That's hilarious. Come on. Come on. Rubbing. Might just grab the other one and see if that's going to be more cooperative. I do, after all, have two of these. And a whole stack of brushes, but I don't want to use the brushes. You going to play the game or what? Come on now. Oh, really? Really? Son of... Grumble, grumble, grumble. I'll just get this down here. All right, let's try it now. There we go. Oops, that's more than I really wanted. Can't complain then. Might have to do some repainting. That's okay. Is there some way I can mop some of that up? Ooh. Let's get this on first. There we go. Actually, what I might be able to do is take advantage of that blob and put this on. Now, let's make sure we get our sides right. 26 we're looking for. Christ, my arse, that's bad. Aha. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just checking some numbers here, guys. I'm going to have to get my goggles on to be sure about this. Dear, oh dear. Ay, ay, ay. Where are they? 26, right. This is the one I need, and that is going to go on that way. Hang on. Yeah, right. Right, now that we've ID'd that, now let's have a look. That goes tweezers. Deedly. Now, what we're going to try and do here, guys. These go on. Like that. Ah, yes. Now, yeah, I'm going to need to actually put a bit more glue on that. But what I have discovered is that other glue is not an issue. All right, now, what I might do is once I've gotten the other two, one of those on, because there's two of those, one on each side, obviously. What I'll do is get back onto the Mustang, because we're getting closer with that. So I would like to see about getting that achieved today. I would. It would be a good outcome. Now, if not, we'll just do another stream like this tomorrow. It'll be a process. We'll get there. Now, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to. How do I want to do this? Actually, I wonder if I can just. There we go. Here we go. Now, hell, if I do it that way, I'll work it out. Come on. What is with these glue things? Fuck's sake. Was it the other one that was quite good? I don't know. Getting grumpy with these. I shouldn't have to keep trotting out my bloody lighter just to get the glue, you know. Hang on. I'm doing this the hard way. This is not a time where I require this. There's an option. Give me a moment. Okay. How's about you get oops. Well, that's probably plenty then. Pop that over there. And the top, I believe, is relatively dry on the glue front with this. So, we simply pop that there. It's a bit more there. Almost down. Up. There we go. One. Give me a moment. So there's one side of the engine with its bracket. Boom. At the top. Now we do the other bracket. Now that methodology worked quite well. So we're going to use that again, yeah. So that goes on that way. It's going to be very rainy over the next few days here in Adelaide. And yeah, good weather to not go anywhere, which fortunately is largely what I had planned. Not that there aren't things I need to do, or don't need to do. Indeed, I need to do a whole stack of online stuff very soon. But it's all stuff I can do without getting soaked. And for this, I am happy. Now, there we go. In fact, I can even slip, pop that to there. Actually, I can even, there we go. Tweezers, Las Vegas. And almost in one shot. Oh, might need to re-glue that. I'm going to get a different, yeah, I will. Okay, that's fine. But let's make sure we got it. That's the right angle. Yeah. All right. Just going to make sure this is a dry one for positioning the part. Jesus. Yeah, look, it's for us, this is the breaking of a big drought. yeah, it's been pretty brutal for the farmers, and they're the people who I generally feel sorry for in that sort of situation. They're having to get water imported, not imported, but basically brought out in tanks, and facing options on, do they buy food or do they sell, or do they buy stock? And it's a choice. It's a difficult one for farmers in that situation. Now, there we go. Oh my God. One shot. Go you, big boy. Not quite one shot, but far. Maybe. Oh. Ha ha. Nice one. Nice one. Hang on. Not quite identical. Oh, hang on. So that goes to there. That needs to come back a bit, I think. Just a touch. Yeah, definitely. Or, yeah, I think that one needs to come back, more's the point. It's okay. Come on. Actually, there's a good way of doing it. Why don't I? Now, you. We're going to grab there. Do I want to go barehanded commando on this? Now, might need to re-glue that one, I reckon, to get in the right position. Because that is, of course, going to make a big difference in the overall scheme of things. And it's important to get that one right. Now that goes that way. That one's in the correct position. That much I can confirm, because yeah, that's where it should be. That one was not, and I'm happy to have identified that fact. You know what I mean? I probably should zoom you out, guys. Sorry, I was having a few dramas with the dramas. I mispositioned the first one of those brackets, so I'm going to re-glue and reposition. Then once that's done, we can get back to the Mustang. Now, no. Stop being a bitch. Oh. Oh, for fuck's sake. Really? Listen, you. Go around. Oh, you little. Oh, testing my patience now. Never mind. Now, we'll get this right. But I am glad that I saw that it was in the incorrect position, because, yeah, it is something that would have been a problem after the fact. I'm quietly confident, particularly when it came to the overall look and things, because there was quite a dramatic difference between where they were positioned, and that's not how it should roll. Oh, for fuck's sake. Now, not having a good time with this. Right. You know it's going to come off and piss me off, don't you? At least that is my anticipation. Stay on there, damn you. No, you're not. We don't. Let's not kid ourselves here. Yeah, saw that coming. Saw that coming. No. All right. I'm not going to, I shall not be denied, I tell you. Yeah. Hang on. Oh, for fuck's sake, Rob. That wasn't right. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Now I'm starting to piss myself off. This should be a simple operation. And I'm making an absolute meal of it, and I'm not happy about that fact. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Now I've got glue all over the part. That's going to make it far harder than it needs to be. This is probably just going to stick to however I choose to apply this. So I may as well as go. Boom, boom, boom. Come here, you. There is where I want you to go. No, not there. Fuck's sake. Calm down. Being grumpy is not going to help, mate. Now, let's get this on, shall we? And let's be calm about this. Because clearly, getting shitty is not getting it in position, is it? Come to everything. Where is it now? Meanwhile, that one's behaving perfectly and gone exactly where it needs to go. With no dramas at all. Hey-yo. And meanwhile, Cunty McCunty here. it's not one bloody thing, it's the bloody other. So I can't believe I'm having this difficulty. I really can't. It's just not that bloody hard. Well, apparently it is. Oh my God. Almost. Oh. Further back. Finally. Now, almost anyway. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. I've gotten it achieved after all of that agony. And yes, it's staying. Thank Christ for that. Right, I'll give you a zoom in. Jesus, that was painful. All right. Now, I'll show you also what Now, all we've done there, in effect, is to put the lid on the top of the rocker cover on the engine and these brackets on. So, one there, top of the rocker cover. Assume it's a rocker cover on there. And so, with our bracket there. Now, the thing we've done there is we have even the brackets up. Before, the one on the right was way too far forward, but now they're even. And that's, of course, going to make a big difference to the overall, well, way it sits and all the rest of it. So we have that correct. And that's why I was making being so precise and fussy about it, because that shit's going to matter in a pretty big way. Actually, while we're here, C25. They'll come here, you. 25, you reckon? Oh, nice one, big boy. I reckon it's one of those. I reckon. Oh, it's got to be one of those. Just looking for that under circle. There's a few it could be, and I've done a marvelously clever thing of trimming stuff away from the sprue into different segments of sprue as I do, and I've failed to keep the numbers with them. Very sensible of me. So it's one of, I wonder, sometimes they have like, with the sheets they have identifying, I don't think I'm that lucky. Oh, hang on. Ah, I may yet be lucky. I am. $25. Right. Okay. So if we've got that part, okay, so it's not on there. I don't think 25 is the part I thought it was. Interesting. What's the nearest part to 25? Brackets. Aha! I see you. This. Okay. And that goes. No, we're going to get back to the P-51B shortly. I'm just going to put this part on, I reckon. Because then we've gotten some good... I did do some filing on the P-51B earlier. And it's getting closer. Right, so it's got to go frontwards out. That way. Now, the question comes... Because, hang on a moment, let's have a closer look at it once we've trimmed this one. Is that meant to be there or is it extraneous? Now, that goes there. Does it? I'm going to have a close look at this later. I couldn't, yeah. So I'm unsure if I should paint that now or whether that's something that's going to stay on the outside. What we're going to do, blue box of bits. Now, it's Mustang. Now, files. Now we'll go for the same two files. The BF-109's easier in a lot of ways. I'm a little surprised I have to do all this filing with the P-51B because everything else has been so precise. Now, which makes me inclined to think that I must have made an error somewhere. But it's it's a very tight fit, and also I'd need to take quite a lot off the wings, off the fuselage, all the wings, to get them to fit. So that's a bit of a pain in the ass. Now, as to whether it's a thing of by doing that you get a tight fit, yeah, winner. But I've already lost a piece as a result, and it's like, well, nice one, guys. Because I assumed it would fit. It doesn't. I've had to take about 1 mil off the fuselage itself. As you can see, I'm not really being too fussy about how much I'm taking off because there's that much that's got to go. It's that simple. I'm a bit frustrated by that, particularly as the rest of the kit on this one. Look, a lot of hard work, but when you get it done, it's great. Now, does this fall into that category? I don't know about that. Filing is not my favorite pastime, you know what I'm saying? But now, you're starting. Yeah, you see it's starting to get there now. Without quite as much. I was like, seriously, before I was having to fully force it in. Which is not what should be happening, of course. But we're getting much, much closer now. as you can see. Now, what I want to do, because of course I've got a part of, well, not of course, but I've got a part I've got to put back in the wing configuration, the wings. So what I want to do is I want to get this make sure that the wings will go on, and then I want to put that part back in. Now we're very close now. Very close. Our patience has been rewarded. Now, oh yeah, I've thinned that down heaps. Now, where's our other file? Oh, for fuck's sake, where is it? Aha. Now, even if I get things to a point where the wings will go on, they will not be put on today because I need to get that part back into the wings itself. But we are now getting very close, as I said, to, oh, that's heaps better. Heaps better. Now, we're almost there, look at that. There's a bit of, that's cracked. Because you have to put a lot of force. I've had to put a lot of force on that, so I'm going to have to tidy that up. Let's get in some repairs. Shit. That's not good. You can fix that easily enough. Okay. That's not good. And that's a source of frustration on its own, you know? All right. Glue. We're going to have to put the filing aside for a bit of a time. And this might be the point at which we wind up for today, because I'd need that wing fixed. This is a non-negotiable. And what we'll do is tomorrow we'll be back. We'll be doing much the same sort of a drill with our with the two kits in operation. We will get these wings on, and once we're there with that, with the Mustang, it's pretty much all downhill. Then we can start looking at painting and shit. But this is becoming a bit. But this needs to be fixed. That's not a. Oh, we can maybe do that. No, we're doing that now. Now. Not happy, Jan. Now, this is the glue I want on this occasion. Do I need to get the lighter out? Probably. You're trying to piss me off, aren't you, glue? Yes, you are. Never mind. Victory will be mine, says I say the Robster. And my lighter's died. I think I have another one somewhere. Yes, I do. Fuck's sake. All right. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on. This is bullshit. I'm just having a day, aren't I, guys? Hang on, wait, that looks suspiciously like it might be emitting glue. Oh my God. All right, let's get this fixed. Just into there, I guess. Here we go. All right. Hey, hey, hey. Because it wants to be there, happily it's not going to require too much crunching with the fingers, but I'll hold it there until that gets to a solid sort of a posse. Now, after about 40 seconds, I should be able to let go. Okay, this is going to require a bit of repairing. A bit more to this than I'd hoped. All right, now where is this? Would be the time for this. This is very disappointing in some ways, actually, because up till now on this kit, the hard work has been stuff that you can go, well, yeah, well, it's hard work, but there's the result. Hard work, but there's the result. This is just a clusterfuck of not, I mean, if this continues, I'm going to wind up the stream one or the other. If this is still a problem shortly, I will obviously have to attend to it in some capacity. I might need to use some accelerant. We'll work it out. It's just that I think we're in a bit of luck. Because what the problem was on this side was I was seeing a gap. And with my eyes, if my eyes I can see a gap, then by God, there's a gap, all right. Yeah, that's better. Now I'm just going to let that settle. Bit of a fisting that, but on the other side, at least I know we're getting closer with this, getting the wings on. And tomorrow we can continue with our 109 engine. Alrighty. Yeah, we get Academy kits. Yeah, look, the filing on this, I'm unsure to what extent, in truth, it could be due to an error, some errors on my behalf. The reason I say that is because everything else on it has been so precise. Why would it now be? But that said, once it's in, and then I will presumably need to do a bit of crystal clear puttying sort of style, just fill it up. It will be a very, very tight fit, and therefore absolutely it won't be like it's loose anyway. It'll be tight. And as to whether that's a good or a bad thing, I guess is entirely up to interpretation. Now, all of that said, we'll continue with this tomorrow. We will get these wings on. It's just being a pain in the ass. And the bigger frustration for me is that once they're on, as I said, it's very much on the downhill run. We just put the ailerons, whatever they're pronounced, whatever, on the tail fins, airbrush. It'll be done very quickly, but patience is a virtue. We've of course got the 109 to continue with, and we'll get that engine looking nice and shimmicky, and we'll possibly examine getting some guns put on. Now, some models are, and as I said, David, with this one, it's a bit frustrating in as much as up till now, the hard work has been rewarded. At the moment, the hard work is just going, yeah, the hard work is that you're going to be taking thwack this somewhere uncomfortable. And it's just a pain in the ass. So much so that maybe 2 fists are required. We'll leave that discussion there. Anyway. But yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow and we'll work on that. Now, time to wind the stream up. Thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Any first-time viewers out there, you know what I'm about to suggest, don't you? It's follow, like, or subscribe. Now, if you'd like to track me down on other platforms, I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Bassman. Have a good day, man. Yes, I will be back tomorrow. As I said, we'll get onto these wings. It will happen. 109 engine. It's going to happen. And there are other assessments, as I said, with the 109 engine, mostly being guns. We want to put guns on. Yeah. My pleasure, David. All righty. So, tomorrow I'll be back. And I will be back at a similar sort of a time. So all that I really need to say is that I'll be back at a similar kit time and on the same kit channel. And hopefully I'll catch you good people then. See yous.